Skinny Hardaway Southern T. Back with another EP. And today I'm here with, a story that I've been following. The super I said lightweight. The super middleweight division as of late. It went from one of those divisions, with not a lot going on, to quickly becoming, one of the more hotter divisions in boxing. And it all happened within a year or so time, you know what I mean? With the emergence of Canelo Alvarez, in that division, that has, spiced the division up. We try not gonna lie. You got Demetrius Andrade coming up to 160. What's good, MP? What the fuck? Appreciate you sliding through. You got Demetrius Andrade coming up, to 168. You got Jamal Charlo, who's around 168. Now, Cambose's side ain't signed the contract yet, Dwayne. Shout out my guy, Dwayne Freeman. A boxing matchup with Dwayne Freeman sliding through this joint. Just to answer your question real quick, Dwayne. Nah, Cambose's ain't signed yet. He hasn't signed yet, Brody. Shout out, Dwayne. Appreciate you sliding through this joint, Dwayne. Let me go ahead and say what's up, y'all. Shout out my guy, Dwayne, sliding through this joint. He said what's good, T. Shout out my guy, Alonzo Thacker, sliding through this joint. He said salute, T. My guy, Fred Hall, what's good? Yo, what's good? Appreciate you sliding through this jump. MP, what the fuck, sliding through this jump as he always do. Shout out MP, what the fuck. MP, what the fuck, one of the most hardest working niggas on YouTube. I see him in chats all across YouTube. Shout out MP, what the fuck. MP, what the fuck, the YouTube MVP, because he be on everybody's shit every single day. Shout out MP, what the fuck. But hell yeah, Dwayne. I did hear about that, and Kambosos hasn't signed his part of the contract yet. He hasn't got to sign his part of the contract yet. Right, which is real crazy, huh? He did all that shit with the TikTok, and he did all that shit, saying, "Oh, hurry up, boy," and all this and all that. And then, man, I got you, man. All right, so I'm gonna push my show back. Then. I'm gonna push my show back. I got you. I'm gonna fall through that junk. But yeah, he been doing all that motherfucking talking. Now he get the fight. Now he ain't even signed that motherfucker. Yeah, get his ass. I'm gonna be there. Get his ass. But hell yeah. I'm gonna read the article that I got this Southern T from. This Caleb Plant, Canelo Alvarez, Benavidez, Charlo. What I was saying, the 168-pound division, is starting to heat up. You know what I mean? As you all might know, Caleb Plant and Canelo Alvarez are coming off undisputed super middleweight matchup in which Canelo Alvarez was seen victorious. He stopped Caleb Plant in the 11th round. Me personally, I think Caleb Plant. Did a job well done. You know what I mean? The scorecards may indicate a different thing, but I think that fight was a lot closer than the scorecards indicated. You know what I mean? But Caleb Plant, he's coming out for a loss against Canelo Alvarez, and he was getting interviewed by Boxing Scene, which I'm going to read in just a second. Caleb Plant was getting interviewed by the Boxing Scene, and he stated to them that he believed that the idea that Canelo Alvarez, threw out about, those guys getting in the ring and fighting each other, and then Canelo fighting the winner. He said he felt like, that's not necessarily. I got two parts to this story. He feel like, that's not necessarily a bad idea. So Caleb Plant came out, in which I give him, full credit for, which I'm happy that he did, because we don't have enough of the fighters willing to fight, everybody in today's boxing, which I'm gonna talk about a little later on my 7T about the elite class of boxers that we got today. Caleb Plant said, "Oh yeah, well, I wouldn't mind fighting David Benavidez, and I wouldn't even mind fighting Charlo. If it means that I get me a Canelo rematch. You know what I mean? If it give me a Canelo rematch, I'll fight both of those guys. So we could do that. We could make that happen." Those were Caleb Plant's words. So they got me to thinking. Now, although I don't like the fact that Canelo Alvarez, feels like he has the right to tell people, other people who to fight. But when Caleb Plant was saying this, I had to admit, when he was saying it, I kind of did, like the idea. I like the idea, because he put it out there on the table, himself. He said, I'll fight either of those guys. He said, I will fight those guys. He didn't say, well, you guys go fight those guys. Now I fight you. He said, no, I'll fight those guys. And Plant versus Charlo and Plant versus Benavidez, a hell of a fight. So now Benavidez has two people, Caleb Plant and Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade, who said they'll be willing to fight him after his next fight. David Benavidez has a fight coming up against David Lemieux. So after this David Lemieux fight, we should be getting Caleb Plant, or we should be getting Andrade versus versus David Benavidez. I don't want to see you fight no more David Lemieux or no more scrubs, or no more shit like that. Caleb Plant also said that he'll be open to fighting Jamal Charlo. Again, that's another fight. That I like. What's good, Judy Bean? Appreciate you sliding through this, John Judy Bean. Glad you could make it, fam. My guy Dwayne Freeman said Plant did a hell of a job. I had him up by a round or two. Yeah, I had the same sentiment, D Free, when he fought Canelo. I had him up a round or two as well, but the scorecards did not, indicate that. You know what I mean? But Plant, he came out and he said the idea that Canelo Alvarez has, about all them fighting each other ain't such a bad idea. I'm going to read the article for you. I'm going to read it, word for word so you guys can hear it yourself. He said that he wouldn't mind, throwing down with David and Charlo, which I think is a good idea. They give us more good fights to watch. I'm all for it. Damn it, man. I'm here talking about your boy, damn it, man. Let me tell y'all what Caleb Plant said in this interview with Boxing Scene. That's what he said in this interview with the Boxing Scene. Caleb Plant is willing to take Canelo Alvarez up on his earnest request, as long as it means he gets a crack at the Mexican superstar. Early in March, shortly after Canelo signed a 2-fight deal with DAZN, B-Vol, and Triple G, Canelo Alvarez made an announcement. Well, if y'all guys want to fight me, do a round-robin tournament, and then, the winner will fight me. Caleb Plant said, I want my rematch with Canelo. If he says that we should get to fighting each other, which I was planning to do anyways, but if I have to beat up other top super middleweights in the division to get my rematch, then that's what I'm going to do. Plant also said, I'm not expecting I can jump up right after a loss and get into another biggest fight of my life, the biggest fight out there. I know I have to climb my way back up. I know I have to get a win or two, hopefully just one, and I can get back into the mix of the biggest fights out there. But if I have to work my way back to the top, then I'm willing to do that. You know what I mean? What's good, Andre? Appreciate you sliding through this, Andre. Appreciate you sliding through. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all hit that like button. Y'all roll on in. Greatly appreciate it. When y'all roll on in, hit that like button for me. Greatly appreciate it. But yeah, Caleb Plant said that he's willing to fight David Benavidez next, or he's willing to fight Jamal Charlo next. So Caleb Plant has lined up David Benavidez on his radar, and he's lined up Jamal Charlo on his radar after his fight with Andre Dirrell. Charlo got a fight coming up with Selecki. Caleb Plant got a fight coming up with Andre Dirrell, and David Benavidez got a fight coming up with David Lemieux. So after those guys, get done, we should see some. And let's not forget Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade at 168 as well. He got to fight with Zach Parker. What's good, Ricky? Shout out to my guy Tay sliding through this joint. Shout out to my guy Ricky Williams boxing sliding through this joint. Glad y'all boys could make it this morning. Glad to see you good brothers. And y'all do your good brother a favor. Hit that like button on the way in. Greatly appreciate it. My guy Tay D said Plant wants to get paid to have another convo in the ring with Canelo. Fuck out of here. Now, Caleb Plant said, I'm going to fight David Benavidez and I'm going to fight Jamal Charlo. And then you could give me a title shot. He said, I don't mind. He said, I don't mind fighting these guys before I get Canelo again. Yeah, he want that payday. But he said, I'll knock them out first. You know what I mean? He said, I'll knock them out. Now we got Caleb Plant saying he will fight David Benavidez. We got David Benavidez walking around here talking all this shit about Plant. So that should be the fight that we get next. That should be one of the fights that we see next We shouldn't get David Benavidez fighting no more scrubs, no more David Lemieux, no more Ronald Ellis, no more nothing like that. We should get David Benavidez in the ring with Caleb Plant or Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade. Now he ain't say, he want to go right back in there with Canelo. He said he gonna take out. He said he gonna take out Benavidez and he gonna take out Charlo, and then he gonna be expecting. He said hopefully he can only get one. He said hopefully he just have to fight one of them before he get him inside. Say that yeah, that's cool, but I don't want to see them South Edge fight Cinnamon again. He let me down. Wayne acknowledgement from a guy trying to knock his head off. He said that's what D Free said that's why I like to hear someone willing to fight everyone. In fact, you know what I mean? We give David Benavidez all this credit for pump faking, all these fights and shit. It's time for us to get one of these good fights. It's time for us to get one of these good fights cracking. And I did this because I would give it to the player man for willing to do this. Man, yeah, you got to. Yeah, you got to. Yeah, you got to. He said player versus Canelo 2. I got better since last time, right, buddy? Yeah, if he beat David Benavidez and if he beat Charlo, man, Canelo ain't finna beat that man twice. If he could get through them two, which I don't think he gonna be able to get through both of them, you know what I mean? But Canelo ain't finna beat that man twice. Not if he able to get through a Charlo and a Benavidez. Canelo ain't got nothing for him if he can get through both of them. That's just how I feel. That's just how I feel about it. But yeah, so he said I support. He said we get. Oh yeah, but he basically was saying shit. If I gotta fight the division, if I gotta knock out the division to get back to Canelo, he will, because Canelo said that he gonna be busy for a year. And y'all see how these guys be wanting Canelo, but then Canelo end up fighting motherfuckers like Triple G. I give him Bivol. Bivol a good fight, but everybody, we be okay with that. But this shit ain't about Canelo. This shit about Caleb Plant calling out David Benavidez and Jamal Charlo for the next in line. And we where did Janet? Where did Janet Andre will comment? Where is it? He said, bro, after seeing that Berchel fight, I can only imagine how bad Dev was fucking him up in sparring, bro. Devin sparred Berchel. I ain't know that. I ain't know Devin sparred Berchel. He said Hayden is going to be the next thing. Yeah. But Caleb Plant came out and said that he want to fight David Benavidez next. He said he want to fight Charlo after that, and he said hopefully they get him a title shot. He said hopefully that he only got to be one of those guys before he get back in line for Canelo type deal. So I'm with it, especially the David Benavidez fight. You know what I mean? That's some shit that I've been wanting to see for a while now, even back in the day when people was trying to pump fake the David Benavidez, that Plant was ducking David Benavidez. When I came on this motherfucker and I played you 12 straight times, David Benavidez camp saying that they needed more time before they fight Canelo Alvarez. But still, I mean, the David Benavidez them said they needed more time before they fight Caleb Plant. And this was before Canelo Alvarez even got in the division, you know what I mean? But hopefully we finally about to see David Benavidez in the ring with somebody real. Hopefully we finally about to see David Benavidez in the ring with somebody real. I like the attitude, and I like, the shit that Caleb Plant is speaking right now. 168 division, Caleb Plant, Canelo Alvarez, goddamn David Benavidez, motherfucking, we need to start getting those guys, Demetrius Andrade. We need to start getting those guys in the mix. Demetrius Andrade is WBO mandatory. David Benavidez is WBC mandatory. Both are the mandatory for Canelo Alvarez's belt. But yet, Canelo Alvarez already got his fights done for the year, which I don't even understand how you could be the champion, but you got your shit lined up for the year already. You know what I mean? That kind of plays into the thing. That kind of plays into the thing that certainty that I'm gonna do later. You know what I mean? Like the real champions, the real four kings of boxing today. Ricky said, "Don't matter though. Really, Canelo gotta want to fight him, even if they mando him. Canelo would drop a belt in a heartbeat." Yeah, I feel that, Ricky. But what what Caleb Plant was saying was shit. From what Canelo said, you know what I mean, right? He want all us to start fighting each other. So what Caleb Plant saying, so shit. If I fight David Benavidez and I fight Charlo, and I win, then, you know, from what you see, you know, you should be giving me a shot. So this is basically Caleb Plant's attempt, you know, to make Canelo stand on his word. But you know what I'm going to say? It always seemed like, and I always feel like we just a couple fights away from making Canelo fight somebody, you know, worth it. It always feels like that we saying, well, these guys fight each other and Canelo fight the winner. These guys fight each other and Canelo fight. I didn't heard that too much. Why do all the best elite fighters have to fight each other and then Canelo, you know, fight the winner? When I remember back in the day, what we was doing was the best fighter was picking off whole divisions at once. You know what I mean? Not fight a scrub until the division beat each other up, and then, you know, you fight the winner. While you fight scrubs, you know, in between. I never understood that. Never understood that. But I don't want to he said fucking Canelo. He said playing one out of real smoke. I doubt even everybody got to thought he was the one who wasn't going to lay down. I don't feel like he laid down. And I think everybody else took that conversation a lot more, you know, a lot different than I took it. You know what I mean? I think everybody heard the narrative and they ran with that motherfucker. The way I took the conversation is, you thought you would already knock me out by now, didn't it? Oh, you thought you would already been able to land on me by now, didn't it? Oh, you thought you was going to already be at home by now, didn't it? Caleb Plant had 20 fucking fights. Canelo Alvarez got 60 fights. What Caleb Plant was saying was, nigga, I got 20 fights. You thought you was gonna already be about this joint. You thought this was gonna be an easier fight than it was. And Caleb Plant gassed, to be real. Caleb Plant, like we make jokes and shit, but Caleb Plant was one round away from being robbed. Because that boy was not down no 4 or 5 rounds in that fight. Y'all can talk y'all ass off. You know what I mean? Y'all talk y'all ass off. He wasn't down no 4 or 5 rounds in that fight. If he was able to get through one more round, and them scorecards came out, and they said bruh ass was down 4 or 5 points, that's a robbery. He was literally one round away from getting his ass robbed. He said, nah, that gumbo could have waited till after the last bell while the embrace in the corner. Nah, he didn't embrace him. He didn't embrace him. That combo showed me that Plant himself was shot. He did as well. That combo showed me that he was trying to get Canelo Alvarez to admit that he was doing better than he thought. He said he had enough gas to shoot the shit skinny. Nah, because Canelo was catching up to him. He was catching up to him towards the back of that fight. You know what I mean? In the first couple rounds, he couldn't even hit Canelo. I mean, he couldn't even hit Caleb Plant. Like them first 4 or 5 rounds, dog, Canelo didn't. I challenge y'all to go back and don't listen to the sound. Don't listen to your favorite YouTuber talk about it. Don't listen to nobody else talk about it. Go by yourself, roll you up a blunt, turn the sound off, and watch Caleb Plant and Canelo Alvarez, and forget that you watching Caleb Plant and Canelo Alvarez, and tell me what you think of that fight. Watch the first 5 rounds and cut it off. Man, Freddie Jimenez was good. Appreciate you. He said, I hope no Nino get that. Hey, y'all, but look, though, I'm finna get the fuck up out of here. I ain't want to be long on this joint. I just want to come on and tell y'all what Caleb Plant said. Catch me on the next Southern T. We gonna be there for a minute. I'm gonna talk about the real 4 kings of today. I'm gonna talk about the elite class of fighters we got today. And it's time for you motherfuckers to start putting some respect on that name. Because you motherfuckers want to act like all them boxers back then was just so good. That was just so cold. That was just so much better than the fighters going on today. And I'm telling you, I went and watched most of these niggas y'all be gassing up. And these niggas be average as fuck in real life. And we can talk about that shit today. A lot of these dudes, y'all be gassing up, be average than a motherfucker. Be real, just to be real with you. But we going to talk about the 4 kings today. We're going to talk about the real 4 kings of the day. And, you know, we're going to stack them up against everybody else because this is how time works. Shit don't get worse with time. Shit only gets better. The Empire State Building look better now than it did 30, 40 years ago. The athletes are getting better. They getting faster. They getting stronger. They ain't getting weaker. Look at the heavyweights back then and look at, you know, a lot of the heavyweights now. Look at a lot of the heavyweights now. Much bigger people, much bigger guys. You get what I mean? But we gonna chop this shit up. Appreciate y'all sliding through this John Skinner Hardaway Southern T. This ain't the past. This ain't the future. But this the present. That's how we rocking. And I'm out. Look.